Hey guys, great to see you again. I'm going to get straight to the point because in my last comparison video I didn't hear any love for the 4 pedal 1 amp setup. Now I agree with you all that the 2 pedal 2 amp setup sounds a lot better, and that probably is because we're separating the job to 2 separate amps. One of the amps, being a guitar amp, is more suited to the task. But I did have a great suggestion to say why not try, instead of a distortion pedal, an amp simulator pedal. So being the suggestible type, I rushed out and got one of these, which is the Joyo California Sound pedal. Now this is meant to emulate a Mesa Boogie amp. I'm no guitar amp expert, so I don't know which one. There's others out there. There's one that's called like the British, which is meant to emulate the Marshall, which I don't know, maybe it's meant to sound more like the amp that I've already got. But this one apparently is meant to be better from all the reviews, and it's meant to have a heavier sound, like when you crank it up. So without further ado, let's try it on the rig and see how it sounds. Alright, so it's the trusty setup. Yeah, I've not really experimented with the pedal that much, but what I've done is I've set the there it is. I've set the low to maybe about 8-9 o'clock, and then the mids and the high to full. The level doesn't really matter, but I've set that down quite low because I'm just recording in the house. The voice is nearly max and the drive is max, and I'll show you why I do that in a minute, but first of all, have a little listen. But because we're running this through, because we're running this through a bass amp, it doesn't really matter if we get any of the clean bass signal mixed in with it. So, put a bit of dry, bit of sub-octave, just to beef it up a bit. And then with the bass, now that sounds a little bit better. But what doesn't sound better is if I switch the bass back off, and I'll show you the reason why I don't put the voice on full, because if you do, yeah, and then if I go further on, you get this horrible hum. What's that all about? They don't tell you that in the reviews. Anyway, so that's why I put the voice down until you can't hear it. Alright, so not a bad little pedal. I haven't got a clue what's going on when you crank up the voice and the drive both to max. It sounds like the start of, you know, the start of Back to the Future, where he goes into Doc's lab and there's that massive amp that he stands in front of, and as he cranks it all up to max, it's got that sort of feedbacky sound. It reminds me of that. But anyway, I'm going to use this pedal instead of the guitar effects to do the Out of the Black cover that I promised you in the last video. So stick around for that, take it easy, subscribe, blah blah blah. See you next time.